And that's when he realised he was lost in the outback without any eyeballs. Which is already a bad day. Being stranded in the Australian bush just feels like unnecessary overkill. Beaten to Death is an Australian survival horror that takes the simple concept of one man having the worst weekend imaginable and stretches it to its absolute blood-soaked limit. Trading supernatural monsters for relentless human brutality, it's a film that's determined to see just how much punishment one person can endure before the audience starts asking for a mercy rule. With a reputation for unflinching violence and some of the nastiest practical effects in recent horror, Beaten to Death promises an experience that's every bit as painful as its title suggests. But the question I'm left asking is, how disturbing is Beaten to Death? Hey, welcome back to another episode of How Disturbing. I'm your host, Billy Bogues, and today we're looking at a 2022 Australian violence-filled thriller called Beaten to Death. Now obviously this video is going to contain some pretty hardcore images and themes, so viewer discretion is strongly advised. This is also your spoiler warning. Let's go watch Beaten to Death. The film opens up and we're introduced to Jack, who is lying on the floor somewhere, beaten and bloody.
Rachel.
His captor appears and after a few choice words, well, he eventually attempts to strangle Jack to death. However, Jack gets his hand on a glass bottle, smashes it, and, well... It doesn't take long for his captor to succumb to his injury. Boop, dead.
Boop, dead.
Jack gets up and unfortunately discovers his wife's dead body. He tries to revive her, but his wife is, well... also, boop, dead.
Boop, dead.
Jack eventually flees, and we learn that he was at a rural property in the Australian outback. He comes across another Australian outback property and goes to ask for help.
A sign saying no trespassing is pretty clear. I bet you left your fucking gate open.
My wife, she's
in the car, right? Let me guess. You's hit a roo and now she's totaled. Call the tow and fuck off.
attacked!
Initially, the property owner is resistant to helping Jack, but after some convincing, eventually obliges.
Alright, you better come inside.
Once inside, Jack helps himself to the most disgusting glass of water in all of Australia. The property owner returns after retrieving a rifle.
What's the gun for?
Some maniac fucks you up and you want me to go without a gun.
I told you he's dead.
Who's to say there ain't someone else?
Before we know it, they're on their way back to the house where Jack's dead wife Rachel and his dead captor are.
What brings you out here?
Just a bad decision.
Say that alright.
And his new friend, well, he serenades him on the drive.
Strung out in the heartland, where my time remembers his name.
Once they arrive, Jack initially waits in the car.
You want to wait here, I won't think any less of you.
But eventually, he decides to join his new friend inside. Unfortunately though, this new friend is actually the dead man's brother. Jack overhears his new friend vowing to avenge his brother's death and kill Jack.
I'll kill him. I'll fucking kill him. I'll fucking kill him!
So once again, he's forced to flee. He's chased down by the man in a car, but fortunately manages to evade him hiding in the long grass. Eventually this man captures him though, and he's really pissed off about his dead brother.
You should never come here! Get up me long! Get already! Get on! I can fucking hang the fight!
Jack is then dragged back into the house and once again beaten.
I'm gonna hurt you worse!
He's then bound to a chair in the middle of the empty room.
But it was easy for you. Yeah. Sticking my little brother like that.
The man then props Jack's dead wife, Rachel, up in the corner of the room. And there's a reason for this.
See this dead bitch? That's the last thing you're ever gonna see.
He then proceeds to viciously cut out Jack's eyeball.
Oh, fucking God.
And just when you think that things can't get any worse for him, he cuts out his other eyeball.
Actually, I changed my mind. The last thing you're gonna see is my ugly fucking face.
And the next time we see Jack, he's getting nailed to the wall. Later, Jack somehow manages to free himself and acquire the man's rifle. Jack then begins to flee, but this is a difficult task when you're carrying a rifle and are completely blind. He runs into the bush and, hearing his not-so-friendly new friend approaching, starts firing off rounds, and he's hoping to get a lucky kill. Unfortunately though, he's not that lucky.
That's 6, mate. Think you got something over me?
The man drags Jack to a plot in the ground, and he forces Jack to dig his own grave.
Fuck this. You can dig your own hole.
Eventually, Jack finishes this job, and then is mercilessly buried. We're then treated to a flashback, and we see Jack and Rachel, looking much better than we've seen them so far, approaching a property.
Oi! Can I help you?
G'day, mate.
They're greeted by the bearded man from the beginning, and well, it looks like they're attempting to buy a large quantity of drugs.
Well, you're the bloke with the black car, right?
My mate Woodsy. He said you were the one to see.
The couple then hand over their phones.
You got a phone?
Yeah.
Give it to me. Yours too. Come on! Good.
They're blindfolded and led to the first property that we're more familiar with. They are then led upstairs to a makeshift drug kitchen and are given a sample bag of crystal meth.
Clever girl. Come on.
Returning downstairs, the couple are asked about exactly how much crystal meth they would like to purchase.
So how much do you really want?
We don't have that kind of cash, mate. We're just starting out. Like, would you take 20? I mean, if we could do 20.
But unfortunately, well, that's the wrong answer.
You dumb fucking cunts coming out here, and I am sick of dealing with this sort of shit. What? You thought I'd just bring you all the way out here so you could fuck me around?
Mate,
Things escalate quickly.
let's just call it quits, alright? If you just take us back.
Take you back? How do I know you're not fucking rats?
We then learn how Rachel came to be dead on the floor.
Rachel would have been buried out the back. Give me your fucking money.
Rachel?
Now look at your fucking money.
We also learn that these events led directly up to where the film began. Back to the present, however, and it looks like Jack has somehow miraculously survived his burial. He once again makes an attempt at running blindly for help. But crushingly, he ends up back at his not-so-friendly new friend's property. Jack manages to acquire a machete before coming across this man having a shower. And somehow Jack manages to get revenge despite his serious ailments. next port of call is to bandage up those empty eye sockets. And Jack once more resumes running blindly through the Australian outback. He makes it to a road and manages to flag down a car. The driver gets out and then quickly goes to Jack's aid. We next see Jack in hospital and he's being rushed into intensive care. Finally, everything's gonna be okay. Oh, wait, nope. That was just a dream. And judging by those bodies in the back of the vehicle, this new man is also friends with the other two captors. They eventually stop and Jack is let out of the car. But this new man wastes no time in slicing him open and letting all of his guts fall out. And the film closes, just like the title suggests, with Jack indeed being beaten to death. Boop, dead.
Boop, dead.
And that's the end. Happy Australia Day. Beaten to Death was released in 2022 and somehow walked away with only an MA15+ rating in Australia. Either the classification board was having a particularly relaxed afternoon, or I've slowly grown desensitised to all this kind of gore. From the opening scene, Beaten to Death is absolutely ruthless. It never really eases off, choosing instead to repeatedly ask you, do you reckon he's suffered enough yet? Before immediately answering, fuck no. The acting is far stronger than I expected here, particularly the physical performances. And I mean, horror fans often praise the screaming and the crying when they're talking about acting, but convincingly portraying relentless pain, exhaustion and trauma, well, that's an entirely different skill, and this cast absolutely sells it. What surprised me the most though, was Beaten to Death's cinematography. For a film this relentlessly violent, it's often genuinely beautiful. The Australian outback is captured with an authenticity that's equal parts breathtaking and deeply threatening, reminding you that nature doesn't necessarily have to be supernatural to really want you dead. The score occasionally tips into melodrama, and sometimes it feels a little too heavy-handed. But oddly enough, I'm not actually convinced I'd know how to do it any different if I was in charge. The score does its job, even if it occasionally insists on doing it a little bit too over-enthusiastically. Now, the story itself here is fairly predictable, particularly if you've spent any time in rural Australia where everybody knows everybody else's business. But I will say, Beaten to Death does lack a strong purpose. I mean, beyond putting its protagonist through an industrial strength meat grinder. Thankfully, it's so committed to this mission that I didn't really mind as much as I thought I would. I saw the bleak ending coming long before it arrived, but it still felt earned. Beaten to Death is a brutally effective slice of Australian horror, packed with excellent practical gore, and far more craftsmanship than I was thinking would be possible. And I'll definitely be keeping an eye out for whatever this director decides to do next. Okay, there's a spreadsheet behind me, so it's time to rank Beaten to Death and find out where it sits amongst its brethren of disturbing films. First of all, I'm going to give Beaten to Death a rating for just how good I thought it was as a film in general, and I'm awarding it a 43.7. Yeah, it was surprisingly good for what was essentially just torture porn. Next up, I'm going to go to the most popular movie review sites to see what you guys think, and it looks like the audience is giving Beaten to Death a 48.8. Cool, so we weren't too far off there. When we combine both of those numbers, we're left with a combined film rating of 46.3. But how disturbing is Beaten to Death? Next up, we're going to give it exactly that kind of rating, and I'm awarding it a 46.9 out of 100. Yeah, I mean, it might have been violent and blood-soaked, but outside of that, there wasn't really any concerning themes. Now we're going to give it an ultimate disturbing rating by averaging together how good we thought the movie was with how disturbing we thought the movie was, and Beaten to Death is awarded a 46.6 ultimate disturbing rating. Cool, so where does that sit? Well, let's bring in the grand spreadsheet here. Cool, there it is. And with a score of 46.6, Beaten to Death has found itself at position number 52. Yeah, we think that it has a slightly better average than The Lighthouse, but a slightly worse average than Poor Things. Hey, thanks for watching another episode of How Disturbing. I'm your host, Billy Bogues, and if you're not a jerk, you're going to just go ahead and like and subscribe. I'm struggling a bit here, so I really appreciate it. Also, if you would like anything sold or promoted on my channel, just go ahead and get in touch, because I'm willing to do that for you for free. And having said that, I'm going to glitch out of here. Peace!